Hello and welcome to this week's Meaningful Minute. You know, for a while, I've wanted to somehow communicate with you the majesty of God. God is so big and God is so tiny and big enough to hold a galaxy, but tiny enough to fit into our DNA. And so I love fractals. And there's a great example of a fractal, and that's broccoli. You know, you have the broccoli stalk, and then if you break off one of the little florets, that's still a broccoli stalk. And then you look at the tiniest little piece of the floret and it's a broccoli stalk. And it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And that, to me, that's just such an example of God. And another way that I try to look for the majesty of God is in photographs. I like to somehow capture the beauty of God's bigness and God's littleness. And I send these photographs out to people and I put them on a calendar. And this is last year's calendar. And just the majesty of the sunset, it always makes me think of God and the awesomeness and the beauty. And then this year, it's upside down. This year, I made another calendar and just somehow look at the intricacy of the heather and the ice, and then another sunset. And I'm looking, look at this, more sunsets, majesty, and then just the littlest flower, and beautiful roses. You know, it's just so fun to try to capture the beauty and then give it to people and bless them. I love that. So this week, just keep your eyes peeled for little tiny examples of God and big examples of God. And I know that God will show up and will reveal just little bits of himself through the beauty in nature. So have a great week.